Greetings to you. Greetings and a lovely Thursday. A lovely Thursday to you. Get a bit comfortable. A lovely Thursday to you and a welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am your precious gift, Dr. Prasad. And if you keep praying for something good, keep getting this shuttle. If you keep praying for something good, that I would be your Minister of Home Affairs, I promise you, I will save you the embarrassment when it comes to Guyana being perceived as a country with a very slack, weak, sometimes non-existent law and order. So keep praying. We need me as your Home Affairs Minister. We all need me as that. Did I say welcome to Uncensored Guyana? My mind is busy with this whole conspiracy, so I'm missing a few things. In case if I haven't said it, twice as good. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. Again, your precious gift. Sometimes I marvel at the hypocrisy of the Americans. I marvel, it's like entertaining. The double standardness. The people are so predictable that you just gotta wait and see. You have to wait and see. Everything about the Americans is political. Everything. Nonetheless, they have a way of giving hope to a troubled nation. And since Guyana has an amount of trouble that we are dealing with, the Americans decide to say, you know what? It is time that we address this pressing issue. Now, before I get to that, to my Afro brothers and sisters, my Afro brothers and sisters, you can trust me because I'm acknowledging you as my brother and my sisters. When are you going to get to the point where you are just tired of the crimes and the acts of violence from other Afro-Guyanese? When? There must be a tipping point. There must be a ceiling that you can't go beyond. There must be some amongst us who are disgusted. Prayers ain't working. Churches are useless. Jails and lockups are not making a difference. What is it that continues to hold the Afro-Guyanese population at ransom? That no matter how much you try, you continue to produce the worst of the worst of the ugliest of human behavior. There must be something, if it's not natural, it is spiritual. Because you have to reach the point where you say, I'm just tired of this. There is not a day you can wake from your bed to smell the wonderful air, to taste the suns rising on your skin, and hope for a day that is clean from violence, perpetuated by the hands of a black man. You can never have such a day. And you have to live your day walking around with a cross as your religious Jesus cross, just to have a belief that you can expel the demons of the Negroes from attacking you, just so you can live another day. We have to get beyond that. We have to get to a place whereby we can be certain that tomorrow is a better day. Living in societies or communities or neighborhoods where there are other black people, there must be something to guarantee your safety, to guarantee that today we wouldn't have these kinds of Negroes to deal with because they're all abolished. That time has to come. If the black man, if the Afro-Guyanese is not safe against his own likeness, how do you expect anybody else to feel safe? This should trouble you. You have to do self-judgment first. This is why crime and criminals were so rampant and they multiplied under PNC governments. Because criminals feels encouraged, they feel empowered, they feel protected under black regimes. The other black man wouldn't do him anything. It is a difficult task for the PPP government to bring crime under control. It's not easy. It's not easy. Why? Because all of the agencies are predominantly black people. The same agencies that operated under the PNC are the same agencies that are there now, with the same staff, with the same officers. They didn't do anything to fix it then. You think they're going to do anything to fix it now? Because the criminals are the same, black people. But the rest of us in society, we have to develop a distaste to these things and tell your brothers and sisters who are in law enforcement, tell them, say, hey man, no matter how much you hate the president, you have a duty towards your nation. You took an oath. You swear to protect and serve. You can't protect the criminals to serve who? You have to protect and serve the decent citizens of Guyana against the criminals. And even though to a large extent the criminals are black, get them. Tell your brothers and sisters in the law enforcement, the police, the military, wherever they are. Tell them, get them niggas, man. Get them, even if it's your cousin, your relative, your friend from school. Get them. Because it's making the rest of us look poisonous to society. I am tired of the judgment. To some extent, it's not as heavy as it is on me because I happen to be famous. So people know me. But the typical man who is not, who might be living his life according to the law, and I refer to somebody I met today, who is a teacher. A matter of fact, he's a professor, an Afro-Suriname, a professor. And he told me, he says, he has to work overtime to dispel any judgment, any impression that he might be a typical nigger. He says it's not easy. He said it's not easy because nobody knows by looking at me that I'm a professor. So he literally begged me. He says, can you please keep on pressing this, because those black people that are destroying society, they are selfish. They are selfish. They only think about themselves and the situation they're in at the moment. This whole thing about uniting with black and stand together, it's all a sham. It's hypocritical. It's nonsense because they never do. This whole Black History Month is a waste of time. That's why I don't talk about it. There is nothing good about this month or anything about Black history. Nothing. Because the ones who were given the responsibility to make sure that the ones coming up under them aren't worst, they exploit the vulnerability of people like themselves for personal financial gains. They don't help their race. They destroy their race. And in Guyana, look at it. This is why the black people abandoned the PNC and they followed a criminal. They rather follow a criminal than to invest any more hope and patience in the Boredom Party. Because they saw for decades, they have been disappointed, neglected by their own kind. So while they have an Indian in a Wind Party who might be leading them and is a criminal, they don't care. Not a black man. And it still don't affect them. We have social media. The whole world tunes into social media. When you have those images, videos, posts coming out of Guyana every day of crimes, heinous crimes committed on Guyanese, 99% of the times the perpetrators are black people, be it men or women, black people. That is what the world is observing. And to the rest of you, all you do is enjoy sharing it and blaming an Indian man. You have to be convicted in your heart that it's your responsibility to correct the bullshit of black people, not an Indian man responsibility or a Chinese or a white man. They have their own people to take care of. They can't discipline and school your kind. It's your responsibility. So while you're blaming President Ali for the shitty things the black people are doing, who is making an effort to change it? So Afro-Guyanese, again, I exhort you, enough with the racial bullshit. All of these low-life, poverty-stricken, hungry belly podcasters out of the PNC side, like all these Browns and the Campbells and the I don't like to pronounce their name because it's so distasteful. You know who they are. Their agenda is the same like the agenda of the churches you follow, to keep you ill-informed, stupid, in tears, angry, hungry, and in poverty, because that's how they can get followers. And every day, their content speaks to the condition they are encouraging for you. I am saying to you, and I've said it to you on many occasions, you as a nation, Afro-Guyanese, or Africans anywhere, you will never, ever be better, live better, be smarter, or more talented, mentally talented than an East Indian, or in the Guyana context, Indo-Guyanese. That will never happen. Okay? Stop listening to the PNC and David Hines and all these people who are telling you that you have some divine benefit to walk around believing that you're better than the Indo-Guyanese when there's no material evidence to suggest and support that thinking. When you accept that the Indo-Guyanese is better than you, generally, when you accept that, then you're going to start your process of development, because he's the one you have to look to help you to develop. But if you think you're better than him, and while you're thinking like that, he is showing you that he's superior, you got to tell you, he's showing you. You're bitter day in, day out, year in, year out, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you reach the level of David Hines with zero accomplishment because you spend all your life being bitter, complaining, waiting for this divine spark that will prove to the Indian that you're better than him. It never comes. It will never come because that is something that is not realistic. So stop hating the Indo-Guyanese, join the Indo-Guyanese, follow the Indo-Guyanese, beg the Indo-Guyanese to help you to be like him. That's it. Go on your fucking knees and beg the Indo-Guyanese to help you to be like him. And trust me, what I know about Indian people, they don't take pride in you begging them. Black people like you to beg them. Indian people are embarrassed when you have to beg them. It makes them look bad. So they're going to help you just so you don't get the opportunity to have to beg them. All they need to know is that you have the ambition to want to better yourself. That's all they need to know. And if they see that in you, they take you and raise you up faster than they would raise another Indian. Take my word for it. I want you to be better. Look at what you have caused Guyana. And it's just you, Afro-Guyanese. It's just you. From the independence of Guyana to now, you continue to deliver shitty people, shitty leaders to the country. From Bornham now to Azruddin Mohammed. The worst of the worst. You continue to deliver to the people. And look what we're faced with now. We're an American ambassador must get political and put her voice, add her voice to the process to emphasize that America don't do money laundering. In other words, America is not going to pretend they want to arrest, extradite, or jail somebody just to create a condition to budget money to launder. Because every process requires tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of US dollars. They ain't gonna create a sham extradition process because they want to launder 500,000 American dollars to somewhere in Guyana. So they pretend they want the Mohammeds so they can create all these need for hiring lawyers, hiring this, paying that, just so they can say, well, this thing cost them $1 million. No, that's not how it works. It is an embarrassment for any country to seek extradition of somebody they want to try or to face justice. It's an embarrassment. It means they are at the mercy of the country they are seeking the extradition from. They can't bully their way and go and take the criminal. They are at the mercy of that nation because most nations are sovereign. They have to hope that that nation's law enforcement or justice system is fair, impartial, and is not corrupt. Because in many countries like Venezuela, they had to go that route, military style, to get the people they wanted extradited, including the president, Maduro. So this is something that it is good for the Americans. They would have loved to catch Mohammed on American soil. They would have loved to catch father and son when they entered the US. But since they knew that this was coming and they were barred from flying, they couldn't. They had to wait, play the long game, indict them, then file extradition requests, and then now have to wait. It's now going to be 5 months since the request was made. Something that should have done, according to the Attorney General, in 4 days. Look at the time. So when the ambassador had to tell Guyanese and the diaspora, America don't squander taxpayers' money. Donald Trump is very serious when it comes to taxpayers' money. If you haven't listened to him or you don't follow him, you better do. I follow Trump very closely. Very closely. He's a businessman. He's all about budget. He's a conservative. Accountability. So if his regime is going after wanted individuals, you better believe it, they get those individuals. You follow the recent news as the people the Americans got for the past few months since the year began. A lot of wanted criminals, wanted people who were sought extradition for, who Biden couldn't get. Since Trump became president, all of them he got, and more, meaning they're serious. The ambassador is correct. America is not going to spend tens of thousands of taxpayers' money as a joke. They want the Mohammeds. They want the Mohammeds. They need to have the Mohammeds extradited so that justice can be served to what? America first, then the Guyanese people. America wants the Mohammed because America needs justice. And by virtue of America getting justice, Guyana benefits from the deliverance of justice. Because in the process, when they're there, the end of the process would mean that a lot of properties would be confiscated, a lot of money would be frozen, a lot of things would be recalled. Guyana can cash in on that. Guyana will get the money that the Mohammeds owe the country. But America wants the Mohammed because America wants justice. That's it. This is not political shit. These are people who broke the law. American law. You have people from around the world who did less than the Mohammeds, less. And they were sought after. Found, it doesn't matter how long it took them. Those who lay low and hid, eventually they were discovered, arrested and extradited. They're in prison. And an asshole like Ashridin Mohammed, who flaunted his wealth, who boasted and bragged and bribed his way through all levels of corruption. Not only that, thought he is so invincible and he has absolute immunity, he decided, you know what, let me raise the bar, and conspired with the PNC and founded a party, ran for government, won the opposition. You see, he didn't lay low. He didn't play the long game or hide and be quiet. not to raise his crimes, the process might have taken longer because the Americans would not have known where exactly this man is. He would have had to go on Interpol's list. But no, he had to have been loud and obnoxious and arrogant, embarrassing the system that he really would have wanted to protect him, only to show the Americans where he is. Okay, he's there, go get him. So what the ambassador is insinuating, not just that they're frustrated with the process, not that she wants you to read between the lines to like, hey, what's going on here, government? Ali government, what's going on here? This is too long. You have a simple case. Everything is before your face. It's so simple that they have made the procedure so less complicated. All it had to take was one hearing. One. Because everything is there to decide on that case. So everybody is looking on and they're like, what's wrong with Guyana? What's happening there? This is one of the most simplest cases you can even think about. They made all the evidence available. Enough evidence that the Guyana government could have pursued the Mohammeds via the GRA. If the evidence was that good and credible for the government of Guyana to go after the Mohammeds for crimes that was highlighted in the evidence the Americans provided the Guyana government about the Mohammeds, why the heck the extradition case is so complicated? Why? It's the same evidence you pursued him with via GRA. Now it's complicated because they need to physically leave the country to face similar crimes in the US. Hence, my question is Anil Nandalal interfering with this process? Is he instructing the magistrate Judy Latchman to prolong this, to pussyfoot around so the Mohammeds can escape? Because now the American system is frustrated that the ambassador had to voice her opinion. And a matter of fact, she doubled down by saying, I am happy you asked the question, because she was waiting for the opportunity to voice on behalf of the American government, on behalf of Donald Trump. What the fuck, man? It's taking too long. All these adjournment, postponing, reschedule, this medical, that, tire slash, all these nonsense, and no evidence. No evidence to support even the last medical claim that a man getting pain in his chest. No evidence. It's an embarrassment to the Guyanese system, and not just that, to the president and his regime. You're protecting this man for what? We have a budget that is 1,500,000,000,000 plus that needs external financing, that needs to be financed by loans. You're going to risk financing the budget by facing financial sanctions due to the fact that, one, you already swear in this criminal as opposition leader, and two, if it comes out that the Ali government in some way is helping the Mohammeds, how are you supposed to get money to finance the budget if the Americans decide to sanction the government because they're being negligent and complacent regarding the Mohammeds case? You're telling me you're willing to risk Guyana for Azruddin and his father? Maybe black people, they value nothing. But my Indian brothers and sisters, you want to risk the future of Guyana for the Mohammeds? The last country you want to fuck with is America. And if they have to come out and say, express their frustration on camera, it means that the ambassador is speaking out of her mind, her emotions. She has clearance to say what she's saying by the State Department. And who is the State Department? Marco Rubio. He is in Trump's ears. All the businesses that Guyana has to be doing business with from America must get approval and clearance from the State Department. You want to compromise that for a fucking idiot? What's wrong with Guyana, man? If Anil Nandalal has something to do with this, there must be somebody in the PPP that can pull this man up and say, hey, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Because we have a situation today, Thursday, where somebody by the name of Bino, Floyd Bino, also an extradition request was made for him. He was arrested, brought before the acting chief magistrate, Faith something. Acting chief magistrate, higher than Judy Latchman. And what happened? Based on the news, what happened? The Bino guy, the Floyd Bino guy, was remanded to prison, denied bail. And I'm sure his crimes are not as big as the Mohammeds. I'm sure the indictment against him, hence his extradition request, is not as huge as the Mohammeds. Maybe one or two, maybe it's drugs. I don't know. I haven't seen the details. But the point is, his crimes may have been less in terms of the volume than Azruddin and his father. But he was denied bail and remanded to prison pending extradition today by a magistrate in Georgetown, same High Court building where Judy Latchman presides over Azruddin Mohammed and his father. Look at the difference. You see why trust is an issue? Anil Nandalal? We would have thought that there's nobody else competent to handle extradition case. Yet you have an extradition case in real time that was brought to Chief Justice, acting Chief Justice, or magistrate, Faith. And before you know it, bail denied, remanded. It's done today, just like that. And the Mohammeds, international criminals, that huge, long list of indictments, and they receive bail, not of 50 million or 100 million, 130,000 Guyana dollars each. I mean, 50,000 each for their crimes. And somebody who was less a criminal was remanded to prison today and will surely be extradited, maybe tomorrow or before the week is out. Well, before next week. That quick. And the Mohammeds get special favor. How the heck did his case went to Judy Latchman? And this other extradition case went to another magistrate. Explain that, Nandalal. Explain that. Why not, if you don't want any suspicions, why not send all extradition cases to Judy Latchman? After all, she would get experience with that. Why not send it to her? You could have had her preside over this case as well, since she's already dealing with an extradition case. No. Is it a racial thing? Is it a race thing? You know that some black magistrates would not be flexible or lenient with black people. So when you have a case with black people, send them to a black magistrate. But if you have a case with an Indo guy and you send it to an Indian magistrate, is it a racial thing, Anil Nandalal? Was this about race? Because if you had sent this case to a black magistrate, you couldn't tell them, hey, go easy on the guy. No. But maybe you have something on this Judy Latchman woman, and you have some deal with the Mohammeds. They're like, hey, send it to Judy Latchman because she's my girl. I got her covered. I'm thinking out loud. Some people might be afraid to do it. I'm not. I know thinking is free. Speaking is also free. So Anil Nandalal, how can you explain the difference now? Same court, two different magistrates, same extradition request. Extradition is extradition. Ain't no bad or good extradition. The United States extradite people who are wanted to face crimes in the US. They don't ask to extradite a president, a billionaire, a poor man, a black man, criminals, wanted people, fugitives. The law is clear. It don't discriminate. The countries and the court systems might very well discriminate. So explain the level of discrimination here. Today, a man was remanded to prison pending his extradition, but you have a bigger criminal who faced no jail time and was continuously put on bail up to the last time when a warrant was issued. A few days ago, warrant was issued for his arrest because he insulted the court by not showing up. They arrested him, then released him without charging him because the magistrate is merciful. Is she a Christian? Does Christians like to talk about mercy? Let's get that out of the way. Mr. Nandalal, this is on you. I don't like people pointing fingers at President Ali. The man is innocent. This is Anil Nandalal. Don't you have something before your very eyes? One of them waiting to be extradited, and the other one might very well get off. He might go free. But the Americans are interested in him and his father. So consider what the country would risk if this conspiracy, this alleged conspiracy to prolong justice, to play the long game, to keep postponing the case, to keep making up frivolous excuses, consider the consequences of that. If the Americans' patience are tried and they decide to work a different strategy, and the different strategy will be the American prosecutors who are working on this case will also be gathering evidences and evaluating. And if their recommendation is that these people are having political protection and they send that to the State Department, then the Justice Department, and then it becomes a policy, Guyana can be sanctioned. And if Guyana is sanctioned, the same way how the Mohammeds can't do business, Guyana would not be able to do business. And if that happens, income would be a problem. You can't fund your budget, you can't fund projects, and yes, you will give the PNC a reason to protest. Oh, they would love that. If Guyana goes under sanction, they're going to blame President Ali. You were weak. You couldn't deal with the Mohammeds. Look at what you put the country through. And the Nandaland is corrupt, and this one is corrupt. And yeah, they will get ammunition to lambaste the government. So the government should act. If you have any information that Mr. Nandalal is helping the Mohammeds, whoever have information, you should let the government know. I'm talking him, the president. And if the president himself is aware of that, Mr. President, you must understand that you are president because Guyana loves you. Guyana don't love Nandalal. Guyana loves you, Ali. And Jagdeo. You see, he's in India right now. Yeah, the fake Jagdeo is in India. The one that came to Guyana to act as Bar Jagdeo, he went back to India. And he's meeting with the Indian government. Then he'll come back to Guyana. He has to meet his double, right? Mohammed Ajuddin, yeah, Jagdeo got to go and meet his double. So in real time, you see Jagdeo and Jagdeo. Well, India, either one, they love him. Like they love President Ali. These men are respected around the globe. They continue to champion for Guyana. Are we willing to risk that for a fucking criminal? Mr. Nandalal, you have to clear the air. Stop politicking around and clear the air. Why is this thing prolonging and taking so long? Why is the system seem to be working in favor of the Mohammeds when other people are not enjoying the same favor? It means that something is amiss. Look at England. Look at England. Today, the king's brother, the king of England, his brother was arrested and thrown in prison for alleged crimes against the state. If you should change the language, it's the same. The Americans also have charges against the Prince of England. The king's brother was arrested and put in prison today. Who the fuck is Mohammed that nobody can arrest them? The king of England, who can tell the entire government, don't touch my family. Stepped out and said, no, if he breaks the law, he deals with the consequences. So his brother, a prince who was stripped from his princely title, is in prison at the moment. And you have this asshole walking around free, terrorizing people. He has enough time and resources to go to neighborhoods and look for the people who hate the government. He can't find Indo-Guyanese, but he tries to pay a few just to play like he's pushing some content for poor people. Something I want to bring your attention to quickly. This man went somewhere in the Berbice region, somewhere, to meet a man who's 65 years old or 70 years old. Because the man wants a scooter. This pensioner can't walk properly, but he wants to ride a scooter. And he doesn't want a scooter to go and do some security job somewhere or to go to his doctor's appointment. He wants a scooter so he can scoot from his house to the shop to play dominoes or cards or gamble or whatever it is. That's the poverty Mohammed is talking about and blaming it on the president. The government must buy a scooter for a 70-year-old man who himself might have been responsible for his illness because of how he lived his life, can't walk properly, but must give such a person a scooter to obstruct traffic and in possibly endanger his life just because he wants to go to the shop to play cards or play domino, whatever it is they play. That's what the Mohammeds are pushing. And the same man said he gets his pension, he gets his benefits, he gets all the packages that President Ali made possible for the seniors. Everything he gets, but he still wants a fucking scooter just to scoot his way around doing nothing productive at age 70. And that's what Muhammad is pushing to make it seem like the president is neglecting black people. That's what he's pushing. And a lot of the fools online, yes, after all, use your taxpayers' money, Mohammed. Or as your sister says, the money that you're earning as opposition leader. You're using it, use it and buy the scooter for the man. And while you're at it, buy some Viagra for them too. Viagra, the scooter, they won't be worried about condoms. Yeah. And for the older women who are still horny, they have the tablet they drink too. Use the money for that. Entertain them. And when you say you use the money, the salary of February, when you were sworn in February, let us see the receipts. 2 million plus, yeah. When you spend that every month, because every month you got to spend it towards, you said, poor people. We want to see this spreadsheet and all the receipts attached with the names of the people that you donate stuff to and who you buy things for every month. Don't go donating 50,000 and 100,000 and then it's like, you said the whole salary. Since you want to spend it yourself and distribute it yourself, show us the receipt. The receipt. But Guyana has real problems. Guyana has real problems that if your sister and your supporters had any patriotic interest in seeing Guyana move forward or seeing Guyana solve its problems, they would advise you, Azruddin Mohammed, and your father, Shell Mohammed, to go to the American embassy and surrender. That's one of Guyana's biggest problems. You and your father. Go give yourself up. The same way the Americans want to save their taxpayers' money, we want to save our taxpayers' money too. Remember, you haven't paid 191 billion. We need to collect that money. The longer you stay in Guyana is the longer it will take for the government to recoup that money. The longer the case prolongs is the more money the Americans have to pay towards their legal team. And as you know, Mohammed, that Anil Nandalal is spending a whole lot of money, thousands, millions on all these lawyers and all. You know that. So if you had any interest or any desire to save Guyanese taxpayers, it isn't Anil money, it's not Nandalal's money. The money is budgeted in the budget, and that's what he's using it for, to get you extradited. But prolonging the case means more money has to go towards lawyer and the legal team. So if you think, Azruddin, if you think that Anil Nandalal is corrupt, give yourself up. So he has no reason now to prolong the case and then have more money come in to pay lawyers to get a cut back. Just give yourself up. And you save the taxpayers' money. Then Anil don't have no need to say, well, we have to hire another lawyer from here, another lawyer from there. No, you can help Guyana. Azruddin, you can help Guyana. Go to the American embassy in Georgetown and surrender. The whole process comes to an end, and they don't have more money to take from the Ministry of Legal Affairs to pay lawyers. The Jamaican lawyer got to go back to his house. Glenn Hanuman got to go back to, where is it? Where does he live? They all have to go back and try to hustle on their own way. You can help. How can you help? Again, I reiterate, give your fucking self up with your father. And there goes the end of the cash grant from the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Then Guyana would have solved its biggest problem. You. I like giving advice. That's just phase one that the American ambassador voiced her opinion. Don't let them have to speak again. Because the next time the Americans have to speak or pronounce on the Mohammeds case, it may not be like that. It may be a press conference from the US Embassy announcing sanctions on the parliament. That might be the next move the Americans will make. We want to play a fair game? Go ahead. Keep prolonging the case. What's going to be next? 26. What's the next excuse? Huh? Shell is bedridden. He can't walk. He's on a ventilator. Or Mohammed's car is out of gas. What's the next excuse? You got to think of something. Think of something quick. Or listen to the speech of the ambassador again. And you realize that your days are numbered. Time is catching up on you. The Americans are noticing and they're frustrated. They want this thing to end. They want this thing to come to an end because the plane is on idle. Gas is being consumed. They're warming up the prison. They don't want to wash the sheets twice. They've already prepared to sell for you and your father. Time is of the essence. Go to the embassy, give yourself up, and if you're innocent, time will tell. Go deal with your case. You'll get good food, you'll be protected, you have no bills to pay, and you'll gain some complexion. Because after all, it's snowing there. You won't be in the sun. So Shell, you get some light skin because you hate black people. You don't like dark-skinned people. So you have a chance to get some color. Then you say that you are light skinned and your son is light skinned, and that's good. It's good for your sight. But right now, do Guyana a favor. We are afraid of the Americans. We don't want the Americans to punish our country because of you and your son. You have lived your life. You've lived your life. You've eaten the best. You've fucked the best. You've done the best. Retire now. And your boy, your son, well, he's not interested in women. So he'll be just at home in the federal prison. Guyanese, we put our country first. And we understand we can't afford to risk anything happening to our economy. No financial sanctions, no country, no banking system boycotting or sanctioning Guyana. The budget has to be funded. The budget has to be serviced, and it has to be serviced and funded by foreign lenders. If the Americans get angry and they sanction the country, all of you who are living large right now, you're going to feel the squeeze. You will feel the effect. We're not on the list like Barbados. Remember, Guyanese can still travel free, get visa, whatever it is. Don't wait for things to change just because of these two billionaires that thinks they're invincible or they have some hold over the government. Mr. President, look into the affairs of the Attorney General. look into the affairs of the Attorney General and find out if the Mohammeds are getting political help from your party. Please, Mr. President, you are a good man. We all love you. We stand with you. But we need Guyana to be safe and protected from any sanction from the Americans. Thank you for your attention. Remember to support, subscribe, follow the channel. I like reading your comments. Even though some of you say nasty things, I don't mind. It's entertaining. Share this video, share the live, and let's build this subscription. Let's make sure that we have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000. My dream is to have 5 million followers on YouTube. That's my dream and my goal. You can make it happen. Yes, we can extradite the Mohammeds. Yes, we can extradite the fucking Mohammeds. Goodbye.